All right, let's dive into some side hustle inspiration today.
Okay, sounds fun.
We're looking at a YouTube video
Okay.
that claims to have 10 business ideas that you can start for under $100.
Wow.
And they're specifically geared towards women.
Sounds promising. But, will these ideas be revolutionary? Or is this just going to be the same old, sell your crafts online, boy, make some soap? I'm ready to be impressed.
Yeah.
But also, I'm prepared to be skeptical.
I'm right there with you. Yeah, I had the same thought when I saw the title of this video. But this YouTuber, Vanessa from Launch to Wealth TV, throws a few curveballs. Oh, it liked my interest. Okay.
Like what?
One of her ideas is selling something called cash stuff in envelopes.
Cash stuff in envelopes?
Apparently, people are making 6 or even 7 figures doing this.
What?
I know, it sounds crazy, right?
That's definitely not your typical side hustle advice. No. It sounds almost like a throwback to the days before budgeting apps.
Right.
What's the story there?
So it seems to be capping into this whole cash budgeting trend.
Okay.
Where people use physical envelopes to allocate money for different expenses. Like one for groceries, one for entertainment, that kind of.
Yeah.
And apparently there's a market for stylish and organized tools to help with this.
It's like taking the digital world and bringing it back to the tangible realm.
Exactly.
Interesting. Yeah.
Sometimes there's just something satisfying about physically organizing your money.
Oh, yeah, I can see that.
You have more control over it.
Yeah.
And Vanessa claims that some people are making serious bank creating and selling these cash stuffing systems.
Really?
Yeah, 6 or 7 figures. That's wild.
Wow. All right, I'm starting to see the potential here.
Yeah.
Just making pretty envelopes isn't going to guarantee success, right?
Well, of course not.
So what else does this video suggest?
So she also highlights a natural hair consultant. Who's reportedly making $900 a day.
$900 a day. $900 a day. Okay, now that caught my attention.
Right.
There's clearly a need for this kind of specialized knowledge.
There is.
Huge need.
Absolutely. Natural hair care can be so complex.
Yeah.
And a lot of women, I think, are willing to invest in getting that guidance from an expert.
Absolutely.
Plus, there's the potential for repeat customers, building a loyal client base.
Oh, for sure.
It's a great example of how passion and expertise can lead to a thriving business.
Absolutely.
So we've got cash stuff and envelopes.
Yep.
And we've got natural hair consultant. But there's more.
Oh, there's a whole list.
Okay.
Vanessa has a whole list of 10 ideas.
All right.
Some of them are pretty unexpected.
I'm ready. Let's dive in.
Okay. So she kicks it off with this cash stuff in envelopes concept. Basically, creating and selling physical envelopes, binders, trackers, things like that.
To help people with cash budgeting.
Okay.
Think Etsy shops, maybe even social media marketing.
Okay, so tapping into those visual and tactile aspects of budgeting?
Right.
Yeah, I can see how that could be appealing to people who prefer a more hands-on approach. Exactly. But wouldn't there be a lot of competition?
Oh, absolutely.
There are already so many budgeting apps and tools out there.
For sure. Yeah, that's a valid point.
Yeah.
I think the key here is differentiation.
Okay.
Maybe you offer unique designs, customizable options, or cater to a specific niche.
Yeah.
What about budgeting systems specifically for travel?
Oh, okay.
For people paying off debt.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's about finding a way to stand out from the crowd.
Exactly.
And offer something that is truly unique. So it's not just about the pretty envelopes. It's about understanding your target audience and then just providing a solution to a specific problem that they're having.
Yes. Okay, moving on to idea number 2, right? Vanessa suggests selling t-shirts for little girls.
Okay.
This one seems a bit more straightforward.
Yeah.
But again, how do you break through the noise?
Right.
It's such a saturated market.
That's the million-dollar question with any product-based business. It really is, yeah.
So Vanessa emphasizes the importance of empowerment and representation, especially for young girls of color. So, creating designs with positive messages, unique artwork, culturally relevant themes, could really help you resonate with a specific audience.
That makes sense, yeah.
So it's about finding your niche and telling a story, with your designs. Okay, idea number 3 kind of revolves around Etsy.
Okay.
Which, let's be honest, is like the holy grail. For our side hustlers.
Absolutely, but it can be so overwhelming.
It can be so overwhelming.
There are literally millions of sellers on Etsy.
Millions. How do you even begin to stand out?
Right. So what does she say?
So she recommends a Skillshare class
Okay.
by Tiffany Emery, who apparently runs a $1 million Etsy store.
Wow.
Yeah, and the class is supposed to cover everything from product selection and sourcing to marketing strategies for the platform.
Okay, Skillshare is always a good resource. It sounds like this idea is less about a specific product and more about just learning the ropes of the Etsy marketplace. Exactly. Smart. Okay, what's next?
Number 4 is what's called retail arbitrage.
Retail arbitrage.
Yeah, and honestly, this sounded a bit intimidating to me at first.
Yeah, I've never even heard of that. But
It's actually pretty simple once you break it down.
okay, break it down for me.
So basically, it's all about finding products that are sold for different prices in different places.
Okay.
So you might find something at Walmart, that's being sold for a much higher price on Amazon.
Oh, okay.
You buy low in one market and sell high in another.
Yeah. Classic buy low, sell high.
Yeah.
Seems straightforward enough, but are there downsides?
Oh, there are definitely downsides. Okay. You need to factor in things like shipping costs,
Yeah.
competition from other sellers, and potential changes in pricing. And then you need to be super organized
For sure.
to manage inventory and orders.
Okay, so it's not as easy as it sounds.
It's not a get-rich-quick scheme,
Right.
but it can be profitable if you do your research and you find the right products.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. It sounds like it requires a bit of a hustle,
It does.
but could be good for someone who, enjoys the bargain hunting and has an eye for those price discrepancies.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, what is idea number 5?
This one's interesting. Creating and selling wedding planner books.
Wedding planner books.
Now, is this really as simple as it sounds?
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
Me too. So Vanessa emphasizes that these are low-content books,
Okay.
meaning they primarily consist of prompts and spaces for notes.
Oh, okay.
Think of it like a guided journal for brides-to-be. Yeah, and the beauty is that you can create these books relatively easily using tools like ChatGPT for content generation, and platforms like Blurb for printing and selling.
So you don't need to be a wedding planning expert to make this work.
Not necessarily.
Yeah, interesting.
The key is to offer a well-designed and organized planner that meets the needs of brides. Yeah. You could even focus on a specific niche, like destination weddings or eco-friendly weddings, to further differentiate yourself.
All right, yeah, that makes sense.
So the wedding planning industry is, always booming.
Yeah.
What about idea number 6?
Okay, what's number 6?
Postpartum coaching.
Postpartum coaching.
I think is very timely, given the growing focus on maternal health and wellness. There's a growing awareness of the challenges that women face after childbirth, both physically and emotionally.
Absolutely, yeah. Huge need there. Right.
And Postpartum Mocha can offer support with things like fitness, nutrition, sleep, even mental health. Wow. Yeah. It sounds like a really rewarding and impactful service.
Does. Definitely. But you would need to have a really strong understanding of postpartum recovery. Yes. And,
Genuine passion.
A genuine passion
Absolutely,
for helping new mothers.
Ideally, you'd have personal experience or relevant certifications. Right. To establish credibility and build trust. All right, on to idea number 8. Launching an online food store.
Online food store, okay.
This one seems a bit more complex.
Yeah,
Logistically speaking.
for sure.
It's not as simple as, whipping up a batch of cookies and online. Yeah, you got to think about food safety regulations, storage, packaging, delivery logistics.
Yeah.
And of course, marketing.
That's a whole other level of responsibility it is when you're dealing with food.
It is.
You're just selling stationery.
Totally. So, but I do love the idea of bringing unique culinary experiences to people who might not otherwise have access to them.
Totally, yeah.
It's about filling a void in the market and sharing your passion for food with your community.
Yeah.
Vanessa uses the example of an online African food store,
Oh, okay.
which I think makes a lot of sense. Yeah. There's a growing demand for authentic ethnic cuisines.
Sure.
And not everyone has the time or resources
Right.
to travel to specialty stores.
I agree. Yeah, convenience is a huge factor these days.
It is.
And if you can offer something unique and delicious that's not readily available elsewhere, you've got a winning combination.
Exactly. Okay, we're on to idea number 9, and this one really surprised me.
Okay, what is it?
Tell us about the natural hair consultant.
Oh, yeah. This one's fascinating.
Yeah,
Because it speaks to the power of specialized knowledge.
right.
Yeah, Vanessa shared her personal story about struggling with her natural hair and how she was willing to pay for that expert guidance.
Sure,
And her story really highlights the need for this type of service.
absolutely. Natural hair care can be complex.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of misinformation out there. Probably.
Right, yeah.
So a natural hair consultant can assess your hair type, provide personalized product recommendations, and teach you techniques for styling and maintenance.
That's great.
Right.
Yeah, and as we heard, some consultants are making a really good living doing this.
$900 a day.
Yeah.
I'm starting to think I need to reevaluate my career choice.
All right.
Okay, let's move on to the final idea.
Okay, let's hear it.
Idea number 10 is all about building a community.
Building a community. Okay.
Vanessa used the example of Mylake Teal, who built a successful business called Curlbox, and then launched a community called Mylake, which is a platform for Black mothers to connect and support each other.
That's great.
So it's not just about selling a product or service. It's about creating a space, for people with shared interests or experiences.
I like that. It's
Interesting. Yeah, right, yeah. And it doesn't have to be limited to a specific demographic.
right. Think like book clubs,
Exactly.
fitness groups, crafting communities.
Oh, yeah. The possibilities are endless.
Yeah, for sure.
So we've covered all 10 ideas.
Okay.
And I have to say, I'm feeling pretty inspired.
I am too.
What are your overall thoughts on this list?
Well, I think they are actually viable business ideas. But I do think there are a few caveats. First, these are just starting points. You'll need to do your own research. Yes. Validate your ideas and develop a solid business plan. Second, success depends on more than just a good idea. Yes. It takes hard work,
Absolutely.
dedication, and a willingness to adapt and learn.
For sure.
So, it's not about getting rich quick.
Nah.
It's about finding something you're passionate about and building a sustainable business over time.
I love that. I love that. Yeah. So to our listener out there, which of these ideas sparked your interest?
Yeah, what resonated with you?
What resonated with you? What made you think, ooh, I could do that?
And don't forget to check out the resources mentioned in the video.
Yes, like Skillshare. Yeah. For additional guidance and support.
Exactly.
Point. Well, I am feeling energized.
Yeah, me too.
And ready to brainstorm some business ideas.
It's inspiring to see so many creative and resourceful women out there building their own businesses,
Absolutely.
pursuing their passion. Well, it really shows that you don't need a ton of money or experience to get started.
Absolutely. It's all about identifying a need,
Yeah.
solving a problem, and putting in the effort. Yeah. And who knows, maybe one of these ideas will spark the next big success story.
I can't wait to find out.
All right. We've covered a lot of ground, but I want to circle back to something that's been on my mind.
Okay.
Vanessa emphasizes that these ideas are specifically aimed at women.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on that?
It's an interesting angle.
Yeah.
I think it speaks to the unique challenges and opportunities that women face in the entrepreneurial world. Yes. We know that women often face more barriers to accessing funding, resources, and mentorship. Right.
There's still a gender gap. Yes. When it comes to entrepreneurship, it's important to acknowledge that.
Yes. It is.
At the same time, it's empowering to see a video specifically targeting women. Absolutely encouraging them to pursue their dream, and build their own businesses.
I love it.
It's about representation, and showing women that they have the power to create their own success.
Exactly. It's about challenging the status quo and inspiring a new generation of female entrepreneurs.
I love that.
But even though these ideas are presented, as being for women, I think they can be adapted and applied by anyone. The drive and determination to make it work. Absolutely. Entrepreneurship is not limited by gender, background, or experience. It's about passion, creativity, and a willingness to take risks.
Yes. Well said.
Yeah. Go out there, make your mark, create something amazing.
I couldn't agree more.
It's been great diving into these ideas today. I'm feeling super inspired.
Me too. And I hope our listeners feeling the same way. Yeah, there's so much potential out there. Just waiting to be unlocked.
Absolutely. And who knows? Maybe we'll be featuring one of our listeners' success stories.
Oh, wouldn't that be amazing?
Yeah.
What are some of the key takeaways that really stood out to you?
Well, one thing that struck me was how many of these ideas leverage existing platforms like Etsy, Amazon, Skillshare. It's a huge advantage for anyone starting out. It lowers the barrier to entry and allows you to tap into an established customer base.
That's such a good point. You don't necessarily need to build everything from scratch. You can use the power of these platforms to reach a wider audience and get your business up and running more quickly.
Exactly. And another common thread is the focus on niche markets. Whether it's catering to a specific dietary need, offering specialized coaching services, or creating products for a particular hobby or interest group. Niching down allows you to stand out from the competition and connect with a more targeted audience.
It's like being the big fish in a small pond, right?
Yeah, precisely. When you try to be everything to everyone, you kind of get lost in the noise. But when you focus on a specific niche, you become the go-to expert for that particular group of people.
I think that's so important in today's world. You need to find a way to differentiate yourself and offer something unique that people can't find anywhere else. So, to our listeners out there, which of these ideas resonated with you the most? What sparked your curiosity?
Yeah. Was there anything that really made you think, I could do that?
Maybe it's an idea that aligns perfectly with your existing skills and passions. Or perhaps it's something completely outside of your comfort zone that's calling you to explore uncharted territory.
Whatever it is, we encourage you to do some digging. Explore the resources mentioned in the video and see where your entrepreneurial journey takes you.
The possibilities are endless.
They really are.
Well, I'm feeling inspired and ready to embrace those possibilities.
Me too.
Thanks for diving deep with me today.
Of course. Always a pleasure.
And to our listeners, keep those entrepreneurial spirits burning bright. We'll catch you on our next deep dive adventure.
Until then, happy hustling.